Hey, what up? So I dug up this relic from the past. It's actually not really a relic. You can find this content on my other channel that I never really used, that I just uploaded some personal videos to back in the day. But I found one of my Diablo 3 builds. There's actually two Diablo 3 build videos up on that channel. There is this demon hunter that I'm about to show you, and there's a one button Oleana's build. And this build is essentially one button as well. Um there were other buttons that I did hit. Like, I think I basically hold down the one attack, but I mash like the raining beast or something, rain of arrows, whatever it was, with the crashing beast every now and then. And I think if I run out of hatred, I would have like the wolves or something that I would be able to pop some abilities to gain hatred back. But otherwise, like, I don't know if I really had to use that much. But yeah, I just want to show the build off. The UI looks weird because it was on console that I played. I played hardcore on console on Diablo 3 because it was easier to mitigate losses. So it was not as bad to play hardcore, in all honesty. Definitely cheesed it a little bit. Um, but people use logout macros and shit like that, right? So I didn't feel bad backing up my character in case I died, because you'd still have to go through a process, an annoying process of having to recover your character data, and you'd still lose all the progress you made that day and stuff. So it was still an annoying hindrance if you died. Um, but yeah, it was effectively like similar to a logout macro. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I didn't really use modded gear. Um, I think the only modded equipment I have are like the wings, the aesthetic stuff. I did get a bunch of wings that we did not have access to on console, which was cool. And that's the only stuff that I was really willing to use, was the modded cosmetics. But yeah, I didn't touch any of the gems on or equipment on my hardcore character. I did on softcore on this game, um, before I knew about the mods and hacked gear and stuff. I did get my characters ruined on softcore, so I essentially think I deleted them all except for one, and just went for hardcore and made sure to um, not take any items from people unless they were like friends and we were playing together and farming together and stuff. So yeah, enough yapping. Let's take a look at the build. And I apologize. The visual quality of this is gonna look pretty shitty because this was uploaded at the time when I uploaded it from my PS4 to my YouTube, and I think it comes through at like less than, it says 720p, but it definitely, the bit rate, you can tell, gets really bad. But yeah, as you can see here, this was from, at the time, Torment 13. So yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so I'm using Vault primarily. That is the main skill that I end up using. While vaulting, shoot 4 arrows for 75% weapon damage at nearby enemies. These shots are guaranteed critical hits. I believe that I was using that in combination with the gem that critical hits cause bleeding and damage at a distance and stuff. So effectively just bleeding enemies that are in a distance and just killing them that way. Okay, so actually it looked like I did have more skills on this one. Fan of Knives, this was a massive nuke. I believe I was using a legendary that stacked up the damage on Fan of Knives over time so that after 30 seconds it did a massive nuke. I would use this like on bosses or massive elite packs. So this was an additional large chunk of damage in case the Crashing Beast was just fucking off somewhere random, because the Crashing Beast does fuck off somewhere random usually. When an enemy is killed, mark spreads 3 closest enemies 30 yards, can chain repeatedly. So I was using Mark of Death. I don't remember if I was applying that manually or there I was using the legendary to apply that itself. I think I had that somewhat automated. And yeah, as I said, I did have a couple abilities. I had this one, Preparation, to give myself hatred if I did run out. And then again, yeah, the Ravens here instantly gain 50 hatred with the Bat Companion. Summons a Bat Companion, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter what it does other than the 50 hatred. That was just in case I ran out. And I believe there was like a passive or ability somewhere along the way that if you had a bunch of pets, you got damage reduction from them. So it was just good to have like excess pets laying around. And this was the Rain of Vengeance. Launch a volley of guided arrows. Rain down on enemies for 3,500% weapon damage over 8 seconds. And I was also using the Crashing Beast affix either in my cube or on my gear. I don't know if I end up showing all the gear or if I just show the abilities. Looks like I do show some of my gear. Archery passive. It's good passive. Let me look back for a second there. I forget what I was using that for. 2-hand crossbow. Okay, the hatred regen. So we're using that for the hatred regen. We had a lot of hatred regen on our gear to make sure we could keep vaulting endlessly. What was that one? Additional damage. Okay, ambush, additional damage to enemies above 75% health. This is a good one. Call the Weak. Increased damage to slow or chilled enemies, which I believe we were doing most of the time. This is my, looks like my cube here. So, yeah, again, Lord Greenstone's fan for the nuking of the bosses or the elites. Crashing Rain for the 4,000 damage. 4,000% weapon damage Crashing Beast on the raining arrows. And after casting Shadow Power, Smoke, Screen, or Vault, take 60% reduced damage for 8 seconds. And I'm pretty much vaulting endlessly, so that is always up. So that was base 60% damage reduction right there, which means I didn't have to put that much more on the build. That was a great ring there for this build, especially. The Paragons, I think they changed the way the Paragons are working now, so this doesn't really matter. But I essentially just maxed everything out in every tree, and then, you know, dexterity. And then, you know, I go through my weapons here. You can see the rolls on them. You know, pretty good rolls. Put a lot of time and effort into rolling my gear. This was before primals, I think, too. Yeah, see, Natalia's set. You had the two-handed crossbow set. The gem in here, I think I just had in there for fun. That legendary gem. I think it was when it just came out, so I was trying it out. It looked really cool in this transmog. Zay's Stone of Vengeance. It's one of my legendaries there. So enemies hit by knockback increased damage. I believe vaulting through enemies always did a knockback, and since I'm always vaulting, that was pretty much happening a lot. Bane of the Trapped. This was applying slow and chilled, hence the Call of the Week in the passives. What do we have here? Bane of the Stricken. Each attack against an enemy increases damage over time. 25% against bosses and Rift Guardians. Yeah, I think I just wanted more damage against Guardians and stuff. It's basically it. Okay, and I think I'm using 2 pieces of the Marauders, because that gives you all of the pets, I believe. And you take less damage for every companion you have. Yeah, so there you go. So I believe that did that apply the rest of the damage reduction that I needed in the build. As you can see, yeah, we got all the pets out there. So yeah, I think we're using Natalia's 2-piece Marauders and the 2-hand crossbow set. And then as you're gonna see some of the gameplay here. And we're not gonna go through this whole thing because
I wish you luck,
the bit rate, you can see during the gameplay where the bit rate is absolute dog shit. And then I've been told this build is very disorienting, but I enjoyed it. I wonder if this build would still work nowadays, and if it would like be viable and get like to a good level.
Sweet revenge. Need more time. I'm still waiting.
That fan of knives coming out when it's stacked up in an elite pack. That shit's just so good. Or even the crashing beast.
Not ready
but
yet.
You can see like the crashing beast sometimes just goes off on a random enemy. So having that fan of knives build up is really good. What was that, like 26 billion I think it did?
I'm still waiting.
Maybe even more. Ridiculous damage.
Need more time.
And the crazy thing, like even just like the
Not
vaulting and the physical damage, I think I had a lot of physical damage stacking. The damage from a distance, damage to slow and chilled. Everything was applying slow and chilled.
Not ready yet.
Everything was applying bleed as well because most of it was crits.
I need more hatred to do that.
I might have took that gem off in this build, so I'm not sure.
Need more time.
I wasn't paying too much attention when I was going through the gear there.
You won't survive that. Not ready yet.
It's also been a while since I've played this.
I'm still waiting.
That was just a taste.
So yeah, it's a pretty cool build, and I'm pretty much just vaulting around. I occasionally hit fan and knives. I think I just pretty much hold down the vault button and the vengeance button.
Not ready
They
yet.
just like happen whenever they happen, and then I will occasionally hit the knives in a chunky pack.
Bleed, you filth! I'm still waiting.
See, the
Need
bit
more
rate
time.
just go into complete shit. 'Cause I just completely obliterate this shit. So yeah, it was a really fun build. I don't think Diablo 4 needs to play like this, but like,
Not
man,
ready
like,
yet.
could they have just made the game fun? It's like, I gotta say, like, flying around like this was
My
really
hatred
fun.
is too low. I'm still
And,
waiting.
you know, like, my Oleana's build I thought was pretty fun, too. Let's see here. I believe I go into some gameplay of that. I don't want to show the whole build, because if anybody's really interested, they can watch the video on this other channel. But, where is it? Oh, okay. I just didn't go down far enough. There's a lot more videos on this channel than I thought. Holy biscuits. What is all this stuff? Flawless, what I did my flawless raider on Crota. Where is the Oleana's one?
Other than enemies. Alright, and there's the gist of this.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear two of myself. So I'm going to turn that off. But yeah, this was the Oleana's. I was basically just 7-sided strike. I don't think I had to do anything else but 7-sided strike. Because everything else was happened passively. Like, then Aura, I believe the exploding palm applied on its own. So I would just go into enemies and hit the 7-sided strike, and everything would blow up. So I'm pretty sure this one, I do think I activate that thing every once in a while to regen my spirit. That was the only other button I would hit. Whatever that shit is to turn into the negative version of yourself. I forget what that's called. But yeah, this was a really fun build too. This game was just, man, it was fun. Like, you know, I think some people give it a bad rap, and I know Asmund shits it all on it all the time because he only played like the beginning of Reaper Souls and left, and like maybe it was shit, but like, man, I think they made some good improvements, and it got really good eventually. But yeah, I mean, here's what the character looked like. It's awesome looking transmogs. This was another tier 13. But yeah, so Diablo 3 was it was a good game. It was fun, and shit. You know, I actually feel more tempted to go back and play Diablo 3 than I do to consider, like, when considering playing this or Diablo 4. It's just like a shame. But yeah, my PlayStation 4 is at my mom's house, not where I live. So unfortunately, I don't have access to it, and then I don't want to give Blizzard more money, so I'm not gonna buy this on PC to play it. Screw them. But yeah, I just thought it would be a fun video to check out some of my old Diablo 3 builds and just toss it up onto my main channel for people to check out. But yeah, enjoy. Peace.